Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of the Here I Am podcast. I am your humble host, Anjay, also known as a dork who lifts on the TikToks and the Instagrams. And here I am with a buddy I met at the gym named Keith Perez, who's also the owner and co-founder of Prep Life Meal Prep Grill, located in Upland, California. So if you're ever in the IE and you want to check them out, they have some bomb ass food. I've had it before. It is quite delicious. And no, this isn't a paid ad. This is just legitimately like they gave me some food and it was delicious. And if you want to check out their website, it's preplife365.com. They also have an app if you ever want to download it and check it out. So what's up, Keith? How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, bro. Doing well. Can't complain.
Well, I mean, you can complain. It's America. You're allowed to do those types of things, you know?
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, every time someone says like, "Oh, I can't complain," I'm like, "Yes, you can. Don't doubt yourself."
I've heard you say that numerous times, actually.
yeah. So Keith and I, we go way back. I'd always see him in the gym. I think one of the first things we ever like bonded over was Dodgers, and he's wearing a Lakers hat right now for those of you not watching on YouTube. And we just talk sports, and we would like notice each other just working out and stuff, and we're always kicking ass. But yeah, buddy, the first question I really want to ask you about is your business and how you got it all started up.
So rewind back to 2015, little backstory. I pretty much grew up in the restaurant industry, hospitality industry, worked numerous food jobs. Met my business partner at a Japanese restaurant we both served tables at. And we were actually got hired at Cheesecake. Well, actually, I was doing two jobs at the time. I was doing Kabuki and Cheesecake Factory. Got him a job at Cheesecake Factory. So we were both doing the two job thing. Decided one day after a meeting at Cheesecake Factory to sort of test out this meal prep thing. He was already doing it for like a couple of clients at the gym, just on his own. But we saw where it was going essentially. So we just dove right into it. Took our tip money, I think, that day and bought some protein, veggies and stuff. I think my first customer was like my dad and like a random dude from the gym. And like, I think maybe my aunt or something like that. But anyways, fast forward 7 years later, and now we have our own restaurant. So it's been a crazy journey.
Dude, that's gnarly. When did you like fully decide to like quit your jobs and just go, fuck it, let's do the thing, let's chase our dream?
I think we said fuck it like 5 times, but we had to keep going back to our jobs because Prep Life was not cutting it. So we took the leap, like I want to say 4 times. We both quit our jobs. It was really scary. Wasn't making as much money as we thought or planned to, and had to end up going back to serving. I think Kevin went back to Cheesecake. I went to a bar down the street from Prep Life at the time called Limerick. So I was bartending there. We're doing the two thing, the business and the restaurant gig. We did that. I think we quit again, and then we both got a job back at Kabuki where we originally met. And then I think we finally went all in during the pandemic. So it forced us, because obviously there was no work. We quit or got laid off, all that good stuff. And then during that time, we were in the middle of building out the restaurant. So it was just like a kind of like a perfect storm. Like, all right, let's just go all in. We have no other choice. And yeah, here we are.
Yeah, dude, that's what really fucking blows my mind is that you open right when everything shut down.
The week everything shut down. That was timing, right? Crazy.
Well, talk about like, fight or flight, jumping into the deep end and like having to like just be like, fuck it, we got to figure this out. Like there's no, like, it's almost like, what else were you gonna do? I mean, I do DoorDash and Uber Eats, right? And like that was it. And I remember, I've never told you the story. There was one time I got an order on DoorDash to pick up from you guys, and the place that you guys were like working out of to do all your meal preps and stuff like that, no one was there. And I was like, but I saw where your restaurant was building, and then so I was on like the chat line with like DoorDash going like, I I know where their location's supposed to be, so maybe it's like in a different spot. And then I went to your restaurant, looked inside, I'm like, no, it's still getting built out. So
Yeah.
I guess we're not doing this order.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, it was during the pandemic, so like I was like, there's only like one or two options, like this place here, like they're not there right now. But yeah, but like, how was that? I mean, you've had to have like so many like sleepless nights on and stuff like that, and it's fucking. I gotta tell you this right now, it's fucking inspiring. When you guys went, we tried 4 different times to do this on our own, and I guess like fifth time's the charm. But like, what made you keep going? Like, nah, fuck it, we're gonna stick with this. Because I know a lot of people would just be like, well, fuck, it didn't work. We tried, and it's not even you tried once; you tried multiple times to make this like your primary thing. So, what made you keep going?
Well, I think having a strong support system for sure definitely helps. People that believe in you, as well as a business partner with no quit in them as well. I always said this. I tell them all the times, like people in our position would have quit a long fucking time ago. So that's something we always, we pride ourselves on. There's no quitting us. There's no plan B. That's another thing. Like this is
Mm,
all in. There's no plan B. So, um, yeah, man. Like I said, the journey has been crazy, but I would not change it for a damn thing. I mean, we learned so much through the highs and lows. A lot of lows for sure. A lot of damn lows. Being broke. Like I said, the pride, swallowing your pride, quitting a job and having to come back a couple months later, coworkers talking shit, everyone, sort of not mocking, but just like, I look at these guys, whatever, but that never really got to us. But yeah, man, just having that, I think that resilience and that perseverance, really, really got us through. And, that's why we're here today and still grinding and, just keep trying to improve. And, obviously the goal is to franchise, which we're on our way to. So,
dude, that's so. I remember it had to be like less than a year ago. But you were like, yeah, dude, I'm going on vacation for the first time and I don't know how long, and how big of a deal that was for you, because it was just like you've been grinding this whole time, and to be able not only just like afford it, but to be in like a stable enough position with your company where you're like, oh, this can run without me for a little bit.
yeah, man, that was actually pretty big. I remember telling you that too. I think me and Britt, my girlfriend, went to Vegas. This was last summer, and I mean, before that, I probably hadn't like been away for a weekend for like 5-6 years. So, yeah, that was huge. It felt really weird. Anxiety was through the roof. Just wondering what's going on, if the place burned down or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, everything worked out smooth, and just trusting your employees, your workers, your business partner is a huge thing as well too. So it worked out.
Um, while you were building this up, what kind of toll did this take on your mental health?
Oh man, it's very strenuous, I guess, because you're contemplating if you're making the right decision. You're contemplating, you're seeing the bank account. It sucks how a lot of us are motivated by money, but it's just the way it is. But like seeing nothing in that bank account, wondering how you're going to pay your employees, it's just puts a lot of stress on the mind, a lot of anxiety. It's like you never really turn it off. It's just like it's just constantly like it's hard. It's hard to balance, But the stress, I'd say the number one thing is just the stress and anxiety. That's what's really taken a toll on me over the years. But I'm getting better at coping with it and managing it and doing things to decompress in a sense. So, but that's probably the main factors is the stress and the anxiety.
What kind of things are you doing to like help cope and stress with that? Because I remember you told me a while ago, you're like, man, I'm starting to get into therapy. And I was like, fuck
Hmm.
yeah, dude. Like, yeah, I don't know if you remember that conversation, but I was like, dude, I'm so
I
fucking
do.
proud of you for doing that. So like, with a lot of these coping mechanisms, or is that something you learned from through therapy? I know you also do a lot of self-help books. You read a lot of self-help books. Were you doing like that? What was your process?
It's a combination of a lot of things. I would say when I'm on top of my game, when I'm like feeling like the best, is when I'm doing my morning routine, which consists of a couple things. Meditation for sure in the mornings, 10
Mm,
minutes minimum. That's what I try to do. I live sort of like at the top of upland where I have a nice little view where I could just open my blinds, just taking some sunlight and really just, you know, be at peace in the morning. I try not to look at my phone for the first half hour to an hour. That really helps as well. Yeah.
That's impressive because I as soon as I wake up, I'm always like, all right, let's see. But yeah, dude, okay, keep going, keep going.
No, you're good. Those are the two things, and then cold shower, man. I'm a big believer in it now. 5 minute cold shower in the morning. It sort of shocks you. It gets you amped up. It sort of just, I don't know, really ignites your day. So that's something I try to do every morning as well.
Do you know anything about the vagus nerve?
No.
Okay, so the vagus nerve is like this. It's like the biggest nerve in our body, and it really. Granted, I'm not an expert in this. This is just something I learned in therapy like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But it really helps like transport it, like our mood and all these other different things. And one of the things to that transports it's called like vagal tones. And
Okay.
so sometimes when our body's in low vagal tone, sometimes the vagus nerve needs like a reset. And so one of the things to boost your vagal tones is take a cold shower.
Got it. Got it. That's
So
what it's. Yeah.
yeah, so when you said that, I was like, oh yeah. I try really hard to, at least for me, whenever I shower, if I need to start it warm, I'll end on it. I'll just like turn the knob and end it cold and just try to like reset myself. And sometimes like something as simple as like yawning helps reboost it, and you go,
For
oh,
sure.
cool. Ooh.
Yeah. No, for sure. For sure.
So no, that's amazing. Dude, because I know like whenever I wake up, the first thing I do is I just look at my phone. But for me, like
Yeah.
my morning zen is like, I have my dogs in my bed with me or whatever. So I just try to like take that time to just kind of like chill while, even though I'm looking at my phone, just trying to enjoy the moment with my dogs before I go like, all right, now I gotta get up. Now I gotta
Yeah.
get ready for work or get ready for the gym or do anything like that. Dude, that's awesome. Did you pick up
To touch
meditation?
on,
Go ahead.
sorry, I was going to touch on the therapy as well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The therapy, I think we talked about it too when I first got into it. I haven't been in about 2 months, and I'm sort of I find myself wanting to go back because it feels good to talk to, I guess it's not a stranger anymore, but someone that just has no bias, you know what I mean? And you
Mhm.
could just sort of just release all the tension and everything. So when I was going for that, I think it was like a 4 or 5 month stretch. Felt amazing, man. It felt really good. I found out a lot about myself and my tendencies and stuff like that that I
Yeah.
maybe sort of knew in the back of my mind that I had, but like really painted a picture for me. So I'm able to sort of hone in on certain things and sort of adjust accordingly and try to navigate through all that as well.
When you went while you were in therapy, did you ever feel like whatever you were going through, you're like, oh, this is normal. Like I'm not weird. I'm not like this isn't like I'm not abnormal. Like this is
Yeah.
these feelings that I'm having or whatever this stuff is coming up is okay.
For sure, man. Yeah, that definitely helps you realize that because I mean we're lost in our thoughts all day, man. We get lost, So to vent and sort of say what's been on my mind or any issues I've been having, and then sort of have like a reassurance of like, okay, this is normal. This is why you're feeling this way, or maybe this is why you're feeling this way. Have you ever thought about this? I mean, just different aspects instead of just being in your own head all day. It really sort of opens your eyes, and it actually does wonders for sure.
Yeah, I know for me, therapy has helped me have like a lot of those like aha moments of like, oh, okay, that's where this could be stemming from. And it's helped me like really learn to kind of pay more attention to my thoughts instead of like having just like going like, man, you fucking suck. You're a piece of shit, or like,
Mhm.
fuck, dude, you should be doing more. You should be doing this. You should be doing that, or whatever. It turns into like, okay, no, this is just what I'm thinking right now. Like,
Yeah.
this is not the reality of my situation. These are just thoughts. Like, and it took me a really long time to learn that like the thoughts don't mean that it's true. Like, it's just a thought. And it doesn't
For
mean that we
sure.
have to like acknowledge them or anything like that. And it's helped me go like, do I really need to say this type of shit to myself right now? Like, how is this helping? Oh, I should
Yeah.
be doing more. If I should be doing more, I would be doing more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like kind of like helping me realize that I'm doing the best that I can right now in this moment. I'm doing everything that I can, and that's enough, and that's okay. I don't know if you've experienced anything like that, but for me, that's been like the big
Yeah.
like eye-opening moments and everything.
For sure, man. Yeah, I'm really hard on myself. Probably my business partner is more hard on himself than I am. But I mean, we're both very competitive, and we're both like we try to beat our performances from the previous day. And we're like we do a thing called a power list. So we share it on a calendar, so we see exactly what we're both doing each day. So we hold each other accountable. But we're always trying to one up ourselves. And that's the whole process of self improvement and all that stuff. But I have a hard time with, I guess, realizing and appreciating the accomplishments thus far. So
Mm,
like I'm really like, oh, it's expected. You know what I mean? Like we had a grand opening, a re-grand opening, uh, as you know, like 2 weeks ago now, about almost 2 weeks ago. But
yeah.
it didn't really sink in either until like maybe like 3 days later. I was like, oh shit, I got the mayor there, I got the council members there. We're not even part of the Chamber of Commerce.
Fuck.
We had like 200 people there. Like we got away with murder, like with the permits and everything. It's like shit moves in our favor, man. And it's just the way, I don't know, it's the way we're kind of built. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I don't give myself enough credit sometimes, and I think I need to be more. I guess I don't know, more aware of the accomplishments leading up to this. Because 7 years is a damn long time. To be
Dude,
grinding this
yeah.
shit out, being broke, man. Like really just figuring out how we're gonna pay our employees, how we're gonna pay ourselves. Are we ever gonna get out of this hole? But we've overcome many obstacles, like the horror stories. Like like we could do a week long podcast, um, but yeah, man, it's so I think just getting better at giving ourselves a little pat on the back, but it's kind of hard though. So I feel like we always could be doing better.
Oh, dude, I know that feeling 100%. And for me, it's been honestly, I'm 35 and I've always beat myself up because I never felt like I was good enough or I should be doing more. And especially like with my father and his expectations of me and shit like that, I'm always like, well, is this good enough, Dad? Is this good enough, Dad? And now that he's gone, it's still like, well, fuck, this still isn't good enough, or shit like that. You know what I mean? And it hasn't been until recently where I have to look at myself like, hey, you did a lot today, or hey, you've been doing a lot, you've been doing really good lately. Um, and like it's a hell of a lot easier said than done. But the thing that I always try to like equate it to is trying to talk to yourself the way you would talk to others, right? Like when
Mhm.
you were having your fucking grand opening, I couldn't be there, but I was driving by. I just got out of the gym, driving by before you went, and I was like, hey, dude, I'm fucking proud of you. Like that's fucking
Yeah,
huge for what you're doing, right? And it's hard to have that sink in, especially it's hard to have that sink in, but it's for you, like unsolicited advice to you, but it's almost like you need to look into the mirror and be like, fuck, dude, we just did this thing.
yeah,
We busted our
yeah,
ass to do this thing. And it's not, I think a lot of people struggle with like, I need to feel a certain way. I have to feel this way in order for everything to be okay or for me to actually feel proud about myself. Sometimes it's just like something as simple as fucking good job.
yeah.
That's
I
it.
agree.
And you still fucking get to grind and you're still trying to improve and you're still trying to get better. But as you're doing that along the way, acknowledge, man, I'm busting my ass.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right, man. And there's been a lot of moments like that where it's like, how the fuck did we pull this shit off, man? Like, oh, like, like if wake up the next day, it's just like we don't even like we don't dwell. We just keep going. All right, on to the next, on to the next. Like I could tell you so many endless stories where it's just like, how the fuck did we pull this off? I don't know, but let's just keep going. You know what I mean? But I think you're right, man. Just that's what my girlfriend always says. Like, you need to give yourself more credit sometimes because you're just going. When you're living in the day to day, like it's just like tunnel vision. Like you're not even. It's just like on to the next, on to the next. You're like hyper focused, but there's a lot of shit going on, and like a lot of there's a lot of moving parts, and I don't know. It's just something that I need to get more. I need to be more aware of, and I need to sort of stop to smell the roses in a sense.
Well, whenever we're living in like the day-to-day grind of everything, you know, it's equated to like fitness, I guess, since you and I, that's how we kind of met. You know, your day one is going to look a lot different than your current day, but you're always in the grind and it's like you're seeing the same thing over and over and over again until you take that moment to stop and reflect and look back on how far you've actually come from where you started. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And that's where you can be like, oh fuck, I've done a lot of this shit. And like, this is kind of where like I know you've done this many times, the 75 hard, right? where they're like, hey, take a picture every
Yeah.
single day so you can see like
Yeah.
the gradual changes that your body's making. You know what I mean? And speaking of 75 hard, like I said, you've done that multiple times now. What made you like want to start challenging yourself in that way outside of like your business sense?
Just I think because me, like I said, me and my business partner were super competitive, and if like I was to do it and he wasn't, he's gonna want to do it, and vice versa. We feed off each other. So I think I think he was initially the one to do it, or we did it at the same time. The first time we did it, but I think we did it kind of half-assed. Like we didn't follow it to a T. And then the second time it was like to the T, and the third time, boom. And then we did like the phase 1, the phase 2, and all that good stuff. But honestly, bro, just holding yourself accountable and like doing something that most people say they could do, but they don't, because I think a lot of people can't. You know what I mean? It's very hard to really dial it in and not go and drink on the weekends, be super clean with your diet, read that book, 10 pages a day, get those 2 workouts in, one being outside. Like, if you don't manage your time correctly too, you're going to do your second workout at like 2 a.m, and then the next day you pay for it. So it's just like a lot of like, I don't know, it's just discipline, man. That's one thing like I struggled with in my past when I was a youngster. Just discipline, and now that I'm getting older, running this business, it's discipline's everything, man. It's key. And then being a leader too for my employees, showing them that it can be done, you know what I mean? And it takes discipline and hard work to get what you want, but just sort of leading by example, and sort of towing the line, holding that standard too. But the 75 hard is a freaking awesome way to start developing that self-discipline.
um I guess this is also going to tie in with your business, but as soon as like you finish and it's like, okay, I accomplished this thing, or in your business, okay, cool, I've accomplished this thing. And then you get stuck with this feeling of like, all right, now what?
Yeah.
What do I do? Um, can you talk about that feeling and how you've been being able to like battle through that feeling to keep pushing yourself forward?
Yeah, that's the hard part, man. Is like once you're done with the challenge, it's like I remember the first time. I think the day after we were done, we went to the bar and drank and celebrated, and then felt like shit the next day. I was like, why the hell did we just do this challenge? We're just gonna get hammered and eat like shit. You know what I mean? It's like, so I think just carrying on that momentum through, after the challenge is done, that's the hardest part, I would say, because you do want to sort of let loose a little bit. You want to, crack open a beer, whatever, eat some food, some, not so great food for you, but yeah, man, I think it's just constantly just, trying to stay consistent with everything, the diet, the self-improvement, the working out. I mean, that's something I think me and you don't really have an issue with. We get our asses to the gym if we're not feeling it or not. That's something we just have to, or we'll go freaking crazy. But the other parts, I mean, that's the hard part. But as I done the 75 hard multiple times, like each time I do it, I feel like I learn something new, and I take it with me, So yeah, man, it's just a constant battle trying to just, I think, you battle yourself in a sense, as far as the discipline goes.
Yeah. Well, what helps you keep motivated? Because I know, like, again, we can talk about the gym, but this is also just kind of like a life question, because sometimes in life
Yeah.
we just lose the motivation for things, and some people just wait to get motivation to do things.
Yeah.
What helps keep you motivated?
I would say all the people that are counting on us, the employees, like I said, my family, my business partner, my girlfriend, my friends, the people that have sort of seen us do our thing through the years, and sort of been a part of it. And like I said, the supporting cast has been awesome over the years. We have a great supporting cast, but I don't want to let any of those people down, for sure. That definitely is always in the back of my mind. My mom cleans houses for a living. She's done it since I've been, 2 or 3 years old. I don't want to see her scrubbing toilets anymore. That's one of my main focuses. I want her retire her night. She's still cleaning houses. She shouldn't be doing that. She's gonna be in her 60s. And like that shit kills me. And she does it to close. She does it for close to nothing too. I always tell her, you got to up your prices, mom. You got to up your prices. But very humble lady. I fucking love her. She is a very strong person. So When I'm feeling like shit or I'm unmotivated, I think about my mom scrubbing toilets, for some other dude, and that really lights a fire under my ass,
Dude, that's fucking amazing. That's my next question was going to be, well, what about for yourself? But like, I totally get the motivation for trying to do it for somebody else. I mean, like when I took care of my mom, it was always just like everything I'm doing is literally just for her. I don't give a two flying fucks about me. I want to make sure she's taken care of. And I'm sure your similarities are with that. Because the way I was trying to like lead that question and your answer was so beautiful, it's kind of fucking fails it. But it's kind of like developing some consistency too. Because sometimes if you do something consistently enough, the motivation will come back. Like I know, like in the gym for me, I've gone in many times not feeling motivated, not wanting to do anything, but I'm like, okay, well, if I just keep consistently showing up, and then like I've had days where I go, oh, there it is, it's back.
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. I know. So for anybody's listening and or watching, Keith and I had some major technical difficulties before starting this up, and he's very limited on time. And so this will probably be a shorter episode. But I very much appreciate your time because I know you're fucking busy as fuck. You're dealing with shit at your restaurant right now currently. So before I do let you go, I'm a big proponent on counting our victories for the day, no matter how big or how small they are. I mean, it could be simply like, oh, I just woke up today, and like that's a win. That's a fucking huge win because there's a lot of people who don't get to do that. So, Keith, my question for you is, what is your victory for the day?
Oh man, nice question. I like that.
I mean, it's a thing because like there's a lot of people who like go through their whole day and like, fuck, I didn't do anything today, and they get down on themselves and they beat themselves up, and it's like, no, fuck that. You did do something. Did you wake up? Yeah, cool. Did you go to did you take a shower? Did you brush your teeth? Did you eat? Did you drink water? Did you do anything?
Yeah.
And it's a fucking win. And even like a lot of people go like, well, yeah, I'm supposed to do that. Like, oh, I went to work. I had to go to work. Sometimes people can't go to work and they have to call out because it's just too much. And even I called out of work today. That can be considered a win because if your mental health is like that fucked and you're like you're cool, you took care of yourself. Like that's a fucking win. And so yeah, that's why I'm like it's taken me a long time to start counting my wins for the day. So it could be like, if it's something like stupid simple, it's like at least I did that one thing.
True.
So that's why I'm asking, what is one of your victories for the day?
My victory. So I'm just going to go off my power list today. So I always try to do 8 tasks. I'd say the biggest victory today was a great team meeting. We do a team meeting every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. We just implemented a new system, a new app, a bunch of changes. So it was a little scary there for a month or so, just because the new integration with the new system and the app, we sort of had to transition all of our customers over to the new app. So that therefore sales kind of suffered. We got rid of some discounts. We had to up our prices. You already know the sort of situation with the economy and everything. It's just a perfect storm. And it was a little scary there for a bit, but things seem to be on the up and up and back on track. And if not, even getting better. But the team meeting, it could go one of two ways. It could be very impactful, very positive. We figure out a lot of shit together, or it could be kind of like left like, sort of open-ended with some problems and stuff. We sort of left like, but today was a freaking awesome meeting. We have, like I said, our crew, we went through a lot of employees, a lot of bad apples to get to the core we have now. So it's like, we have such a fucking solid group right now and everyone's on the same page and they take ownership. So sitting there and hearing some of my guys talk and just like, oh fuck, dude, they care about this shit as much as I do. And that's fucking awesome, dude. We have people that believe and bought into the company, so seeing that is just a huge victory, bro. It really is.
Dude, that's fucking amazing because I know you can hear people like Gary Vee and like other business people talk about it, and it's not, you can't ever get as much as you want to get your employees to try to buy in and care about it as much as it's your shit. It's not their shit. It's your shit. And to be able to have people buy in and care is huge. And that's a testament to you in how you're leading them, because I know you're working for them. You know what I mean? Like that's like that's how you become, that's how you are a good boss. If you're working for your employees and trying to make sure, hey, are you okay, you taking care of everything good, awesome, because a happy employee is going to make your freaking business boom like it is. So clearly you're doing something right there, buddy.
It's never me, it's always we, it's always us, you know what I mean? Like, we fucked up today, or we did a great job today, but it's always myself included and my business partner, and we're there to serve them always, you know. And that's what I've gathered over these years. We've had employees, sorry, someone's calling me, decline that. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we've had like numerous employees, like I said, but yeah, man, just to, sorry, I lost my frame of thought, but yeah, man, the leader aspect of the whole business, I think that's the most exciting for me. And I've been a natural leader my whole life, but to put it into like a business context and like to actually see people like, damn, you could be working anywhere else, man, but you're here right now and you're giving ideas, you're showing initiative, you know, and you want to move up. You see a future in this company, you see where we're headed. Like, you're sticking around because you know there's a future in this, you know what I mean? If you just, and the trust, man, the trust that these guys give us, dude, is just like, sometimes I'm like, I mean, that's what sometimes keeps me up. And I was like, damn, how are these guys are just so like all in on us, man? It's fucking amazing to have that kind of that kind of thing happen with the whole, you know, the business, the leadership and all that. It's just it's pretty surreal sometimes, bro, for sure.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. I'll share with you my victory. I've had a couple of victories. Today's been really huge for me, but yesterday I had a major victory that's carrying over into today because I woke up going like, I can't believe I fucking did that.
Yeah.
So I allowed myself to be really vulnerable with somebody. And so
Yeah.
like you might be able to relate to this as men, especially like when we're talking to somebody that we're interested in, it's really hard to be like, hey, this is what I need. You know, talk about like our own needs and being like, okay, if I want to be happy in this thing, this is what I need. And I did that. And they were like really receptive to it. And it fucking blew my mind because I've never done that once ever in any kind of relationship or situationship or getting to know somebody. I never went, hey, this is what I need for me to feel like secure and comfortable in like what we're doing here. Because, you know, for men, it's always been like, all right, what does she want? What does she need? I got to provide that. I got to do that for her. Fuck my feelings or fuck or anything like that. Like, she's giving me attention. I think she's really attractive. I think she's like such an awesome person. I got to fucking do whatever she wants. You know what I mean? And so for me, I was like, I even told her, I was like, hey, this is really weird for me because I've never said any of this shit before in my life, but this is what I need. The other victories I had for like today, I've been stupid productive today. I woke up, I did yard work, I cut my hair, I went grocery shopping, I did laundry, and I'm like, and it's, as we're recording this, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like,
baby.
I was like, what the fuck is happening? I went to therapy. Like, I just got out of therapy before you and I got on here, and I was like, all right, dude, all right, like, fucking let's go. And
add recording a podcast to the list too, man. It's a fucking productive day.
this is actually really huge because I haven't recorded in a few weeks, and as some of you who are watching or listening, I wasn't able to post an episode this week. Well, as I'm recording this, so people who are watching this or listening will probably figure this out. But I had food poisoning on Sunday, which is usually when I edit and put together episodes, and so I was like, oh, I feel like shit. No, there's no way. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this, and so everything got pushed back a week. But I've also been in like such a shitty headspace of like, I just don't, and this is why I stockpile my episodes, because for instances of like, I'm really burnt out, I can't do this shit right now. And, I try to like record as many as I can so I could keep posting weekly. And so this is the first episode I've recorded in probably like a couple weeks here.
Oh, wow.
So
cool.
For me to be able to go like, all right, like I'm back on it. We're getting back on it. We're kind of starting to book guests and kind of start getting into the swing of things again. And, like I pulled up the microphone. I haven't done it in a while. I'm like, oh shit, okay, got to get everything set up, make it look all pretty, and hopefully it all looks great. But yeah, dude, that's been my fucking major victory.
Dude. Honestly, bro, like I have to, I when I have a day off, bro, if I sit on the couch, I feel guilty, dude. And I know that's not the best. That's not the best way to think about it. Sometimes I just need to turn, but I just can't. I got to keep going, dude. I'm always doing something. Even like Britt, my girlfriend, which it's like, can you ever just like just chill. Like you can never just like chill. You have to. I'm like, yeah, I try to chill, but I'm just like I'm tapping. I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta do something. I can't be inside. Even as a
Oh, and with that, Keith just disappeared. Um, he must have gotten a phone call or something. But Keith, when you watch this or listen to this back, I thank you so much for your time, and I thank all of you for your time and listening to this. This is what's beautiful about doing this podcast, because I try not to really edit anything out. So this little technical glitch that just happened is in the episode. Um, but I hope you really enjoyed this conversation. I thank you all for so much for giving me your time and support in doing this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you can please comment, like, subscribe, share. And even if you're just listening to this on Apple, Spotify, Google, or Amazon, if you can, subscribe, write a lovely review, share this with people who you may think would like to be in on these kind of conversations and talking about mental health and anything like that. I appreciate all of you so much. Please be kind to yourselves. And I hope that you have a wonderful week. Be good.